Welcome back to the show. Let's go off the slightly beaten track. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to Tip TV Mr. Oliver Thompson. In terms of his title, he's an entrepreneur, personal impact coach and author. More importantly, a book arrived on my desk, How to Train Your Business Brain, the workout program for your mental muscles. Now, as we know, traders are always looking to train their brain. Oliver, Happy New Year to you and your family.
And to you. Thank you.
Looked at your curriculum vitae. This is way over my 5 GCSEs or whatever I attained at school. The business brain.
Okay, so I've got a business which is built around personal branding. And personal branding is a big topic really this year, where it's about becoming more than you think you're capable of, and you're extending your possibilities. So in business, we have a limit of a restriction around how we work sometimes. And we have an email culture, and we have our bosses and leaders dictating how we run things. But quite often we want to have some personal power and some personal impact in our own lives and shape how we do things. And the business brain was created to make sure that people can think internally and externally about how they do things and become the best version of them and maximize their talent and resourcefulness, either within a business that they're working in, or even if they want to create their own business, to become the person that can run that business successfully. That's why I created it.
Okay, so I often ask traders and people associated with sort of people involved in the stock market, can you basically teach people to trade?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you saying that you're basically, my brain is like a filing cabinet and you can sort it all out and make me think clearer and do it better?
I actually am, yes. Your brain is basically, it's plastic, and it's pliable and it's malleable, and you can change and shift with the environment and with individuals and with yourself. So your brain has a number of neurons within it that when you learn something new, these neurons will connect over a period of time. And the more connections you make, the more you grow and learn. And so my book is about saying where you are now is one place, but where you want to be is somewhere different. And you have to apply some principles and learn those principles. And those principles can quite often be used by other people who have already got your results that you're looking for. And you can apply those principles yourself. So it's almost bypassing all the hard work and saying, if someone else can do it, so can you. You just have to know what those programs are. So
let's say Warren Buffett, the greatest stock market investor in the world. Are we saying that we're basically stealing his DNA, his template, and trying to instill that into our brain so we think like him?
Well, yeah, if you think about it, you know, we've been here for thousands and thousands of years, and people have been striving and trying to achieve greatness over a number of centuries. So if you want to invent something like, say, a Dyson, right? He didn't create something radically new. He took something that already existed and said, I can improve that. Okay. Now, if you want to invest in the stock market, or if you want to run a successful business or be an entrepreneur, people have been there and done it and they've failed. And actually, failure is a really good way of learning, because
is that a better way of learning?
Well, it is, because if you think about it, if you meet someone who's failed 20 times but then has succeeded by learning what went wrong, you can actually go, well, what did you do? And you can actually bypass those elements and say, well, actually, if I do what you know now to be right, I can make a shortcut and then become a successful individual in a quicker space of time. And that's not cheating a system. That's being intelligent with a system, like a Dyson who said, well, I've actually already got a Hoover or a hand dryer. All I need to do is make it the best version. And the book is about making people the best version of themselves. So if you take someone like a Warren Buffett, he knows exactly what to do in that environment. So why not explore how he does things? And then when you explore how he does things, you can actually become part of who he is, and then apply those principles in your own working life. And you can take those shortcuts and see what results you get. Now, you might have a different way or a different set of values that you might live to. It might not be exactly the same, but there are some key principles to success that people can then model and use themselves. And it's a really great effective way of applying learning to achieve things.
So is this just for business, or can you push this over into people's private lives?
Yeah, great question. So my book was actually created for business people, but if you look at the theories, the concepts and the ideals within there, you can actually apply it in your own personal life. You can apply it to relationships. There's a whole section in there about relationships plus influence. And it's about being emotionally intelligent. You know, if one of your ambitions is to get on with people more effectively and create winning relationships, let's say go into networking events and make better connections, that book's perfect for it, because you can then understand what makes people tick, the neuroscience behind behind that. And then you can start actively putting into practice through the book some of the principles within that to make you a better individual in those situations, in those scenarios. So it gives you more confidence as well in many respects.
So what can you do for people's relationships? Just being a bit nosy.
No. So for people's relationships, the most important thing about a relationship that not many people know is there's three people in any relationship. There's you, and how you see the relationship, and how you see the world, and what you want from any relationship. Then there's the other person in that relationship. So let's say you've got a business partner or a husband or a wife. Then it's how they see the world. And that can't possibly be the same way in which you see things, because we're all unique. And they'll have different beliefs and values and systems at play there within that framework. So once you step into their shoes, you've got then two views you can see, your own and theirs, which gives you a rounder possibility of seeing how the relationship can work. But the most important element is the third element, which is the relationship itself. And if you two can sit down and talk about how you want the relationship to be and the frameworks to work within that, the beliefs and the values within that relationship, and how you need to behave, act, and the characteristics that would make that relationship work, then that's the best place to be, because you have mutual understanding. It's when the two parties don't talk about the relationship and talk about what they want and what they expect is when it doesn't kind of work. And so actually, when you're in a relationship, the most important thing is see it from your point of view and what's important to you. Then likewise spend as much time thinking about it from the other person's point of view, and then agree how it's going to look for the relationship itself, and go from that point of view. And it's all about compromise and giving and understanding, but also it's about knowing what you want and making sure that they understand that, rather than just make those assumptions.
Right.
And it's brilliant in business. If you're pitching to people, there's you, there's the client, what the client wants, and then the relationship that you're forming. It's important that you win and they win. So it's creating win-win scenarios all the time.
Right. So if you come into a room, 10 people, can you work out who's successful, who's not successful? Have you got your own tests? Can you read their brains straight away and go, do you know what, his filing cabinets, tickety-boo?
I can't create superpowers, but what I would suggest is that, when you say, are they successful or not, success is totally individual to that individual. So for me, success isn't about wealth. Success for me is about making a difference and knowledge and wisdom and helping other people achieve things. It's not necessarily being a multi-millionaire, whereas to somebody else it might be. To somebody else it might be a great husband, wife, parent, whatever success is for them. So just by walking into a room, hopefully by reading this book and applying some of the principles, you will have a stronger possibility of making more relevant assumptions leading to somewhere positive, rather than just being judgmental about someone based on your own beliefs and values and how you see things and what's important to you. So it'll give you a rounder view.
We've run out of time. Oliver Thompson, entrepreneur, personal impact coach and author. I'm stealing his book. I'm going to read this, and then we're going to have him back, okay? Now, just give this plug this book once more.
Yep, you can buy that on Amazon, and you can buy it on Waterstones. And there's also a training program run for entrepreneurs and business people who want to achieve and succeed, called The Business Brain.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Let's take a very quick break, then we'll be straight back. Thanks.